Now then, punched or unpunched? That is the question. This is going to be an edited video on the subject of what is really punched and what is really unpunched. And it all started with this figure here. Now, I got this for what seems now a bargain price really, but £50 for her in 2017 I got no 16 maybe anyway, is cheap because she goes for a lot of money, and I got her on a deal for £50, which is, well, it's ridiculous really, considering you probably got her for a lot cheaper than that. But anyway, this is what I want to show you. When I first arrived, I mean, I said to the seller, I said, is she punched or unpunched? And the seller, who put together a quick deal, she could have made a lot more, the girl who sold it to me, just whipped it together in a deal for £50. And when it arrived, I didn't really care if it was punched or unpunched. I just wanted Ahsoka Tano in my collection, this Clone Wars card back. But I looked at this and I thought, what the hell is that? Can you see that there? Is it going to focus? It's like a little crease just on the puncher, whatever you call it. And I've seen more than that now. I've got a few figures that are like this. I don't think that the people who've sold me other ones like this, I've bought a Vader, Return of the Jedi card back Vader, and a few other card backs that have got that exact same crease in there. And I've never known what it was. I thought to myself, if it is unpunched, how the hell's that crease there? And when I realised what it was when I got a card back, an unpunched card back, which I opened the figure, and then I thought, well, I'm just going to push the puncher in. And when I pushed it in, that crease appeared. And if you think about it, the card back paint or whatever, you can see the shine there, is so sort of clean that whenever you sort of bend the card, you get a crease on it, don't you? As you have here. Now what's happened is it's sort of been partially punched, I think, and whenever you partially punch these punch holes, like if you push your finger on, yada yada, yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get this in line, but push down on it, you get a crease there. So I don't know if it's just been pushed in slightly and then put back in. It's been punched through and then re-put back in, basically. So if you ever see this on your cards, then it's definitely not purely unpunched. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to show you a card that is properly unpunched. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't we stay on the Clone Wars card deck? And there is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love this card back, it's a great one actually. It's nice to see Ewan McGregor, as he would be in the Clone Wars. A lot of people slag that card back off and say, oh, it's photoshopped, but no. That's fine, I get the picture, literally. Let's have a look at this one now. This is a pure unpunched card, look at that. Perfect. That is unpunched. Factory quality. But what I'm going to show you next, I've got an old card back which I kept. It's of a Phantom Menace character. I think the Naboo pilot. I'll dig it out now. And I'm going to punch this through because it's worthless. It's going to go in the bin. The card back's worthless. I'm going to punch it through, and hopefully what you'll see is that crease that I showed you before on Ahsoka. And then you'll see what I mean. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Phantom Menace card back. Figure's no longer in there. I don't know why I kept the card back really. It's valueless really. I don't know if I can do this with one hand, people. Bear with me. Now I'm going to try and push through this punch hole. I might really mess this up now because I really need both my hands on this. I'm going to cut there. Get a microphone, not microphone stand, a camera stand, hang on. Alright then, so what I'm going to try and do now, see? That's unpunched as unpunched can be. I'm going to punch it through, and hopefully, like last time I did this, you'll see a crease. Now, let me just say before I do this, for some of the people that have sold me stuff on eBay, I think they listed it as unpunched, but I don't think they really meant any harm. Because the stuff that I've received off them, I would actually class as punched. Because they've come with that crease that I showed you before on the Ahsoka card. And that ain't unpunched. And I don't think they were trying to scam me or anything like that, because they were very nice sellers, they're very chatty. And the prices I got them for were pretty reasonable as well, so I'm not going to kick up a fuss and tell, you know, give them bad feedback for listing stuff, you know, incorrectly. But I just thought I'd make this video because I want you to be aware that you should be checking these things when you're buying stuff. If you really want minty fresh cards, I would be requesting close-up pictures of this here, because this is a real telltale. Now, I'm going to try and push this through. Watch this. It's quite hard to push these through, I'll note, you know. They're quite heavily sealed. It might not work. I might have to get... I've got a couple of other spares. Now, no, it's not even, it's not even worked. Live TV, folks. Live TV. Ah, but look at that, though. Can you see there? There's a crease there now. The pressure of my finger has made a crease right there. Can you see it? But on the actual punch itself... Yeah. There's no crease. Let's try with another one. And here it is. Whenever you're in trouble, you can always rely on Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn. Let's have a look at this one. I hope this works, kids, viewers, because this is the last unpunched card back I've got to do this video. If it doesn't work, who cares? I've got the point across. Because I've seen it myself, I've done this before. I'm going to just try and punch it through. I don't believe it. And it's fine. Anyway, look at that. There's a crease on the top again though. See that there? But actually the punch there I've done perfectly. Have a look. Oh Jesus. Excuse my language there. It's a very, very poor quality video, this, people. I've not really spent much time preparing it. But anyway, I'm going to show you something. If you push, sometimes what happens is it'll do that. And can you see that now? See? There is now a crease right there on the punch hole. Excuse me. Let me see if I can get that focused. Yeah. So if you're getting a figure and it comes in the post and it's classed as unpunched and the punch hole is in place but there's a crease on it like that, rest assured, viewers, that your card isn't unpunched. Repeat, it isn't unpunched. It has been punched. And let me show you again. Ahsoka Tano. She arrived. And you can bear in mind, you can pay up to £100 for this figure now. Maybe more for Ahsoka Tano. And I got her for 50, so I'm not going to argue too much. If this had been delivered and it was classed as unpunched, I'd be very angry, but no, I didn't care how she arrived. But I'm going to keep the piece in anyway. But that, ladies and gentlemen, that insert has been punched out and replaced. And the pressure of punching it out has caused that crease that you can see right there. Okay, I hope that explains everything. Well, I hope that explains the point I was trying to make. Keep an eye out for that if you're buying on eBay. If you want something purely unpunched, it's going to look not like that, but it's going to look like this Only One Kenobi here. I'm absolutely all over the place with this video. That's what you want. Boo yeah. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.